All right, friends, I'm taking a huge risk today. So I took advantage of Prime Day and bought me some really cool broadcasting and podcasting stuff. And I'm really trying to make it all work. And right now, I'm not sure how successful I'm being. So as you can see, I have myself a fancy new microphone with a little cottontail on top, which makes it super cute. And so this is my new mic. Hopefully it makes the sound a little bit better. I have a different kind of light up there to fill in the face because I don't have a good place to broadcast to film where I'm getting a lot of natural light. So hopefully this is helping and making everything look a little bit better. So we're going to just go forward today. I'll probably take a pause at some point just to make sure that I didn't mess everything up and you can't hear a darn word I'm saying. So thanks for coming back. This is I'm Becky, and this is A Good Enough Girl. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you are returning, I'm so glad you're coming back and you're spending some more time with me. The only reason I do this is because I love talking to people. I love listening to people talking. So like talk radio, talk shows, those are kind of my favorite things. And so I wanted to take this opportunity so I could just hang out and chat with you guys and maybe give you something that many of you have given to me. So I love being able to knit with other people. And I do have a group here in Kirkland. I don't often get to meet with them just because of my busy schedule, and evenings and things like that are really hard. But I do have some people, but when I don't, it's really nice to have people to knit with. So a lot of the podcasters you guys listen to, I've been listening to as well. Allie Makes Everything by a Thread. And who else have I been listening to still? AKA Nora Knits, Needles at the Ready. I just started watching them and enjoy them a ton. Yarn Room Shenanigans. And so if you haven't watched any of those, take a moment when you're done watching this, obviously, and go check out their stuff because I think you'll really enjoy knitting along with them. Another couple is The Sock Drawer. I started enjoying that as well. I like him because he's very down to earth. He has some really interesting hobbies. And as I've mentioned before, I'm trying to kind of diversify what I watch and what I listen to. And so I'm still enjoying Table 10. I'm still enjoying Two Sisters Knitting, talking, you know what it is, because I can't say that. I have students and children watching out there. So hi, students. I see you. And happy summer. I am so excited. It's actually summertime. Being a teacher is a fantastic, fulfilling, wonderful job. It is also mentally and physically exhausting, draining, and it takes a lot away from your regular life when you're actually working full time. So I've been on summer vacation for almost a month now, and it has been fantastic. I got to go to San Jose to go visit some friends of ours. My husband and I used to live in San Jose a long time ago. I went to college there, and we actually met and got married there. And then we decided to move up to the Seattle area because, believe it or not, real estate was actually cheaper up here. And so, which is hard to believe now, but that's what brought us to the Seattle area. So we were really excited to go see all of our friends. And it was just so filling to see people who have known me. Gosh, I think Cara and I have been friends since 97. Autumn's probably since 98. So we have all been friends for a really long time. So it was great to see them. And Eric, who we saw, is my husband's best friend from high school. So it was really a delight to see everybody and meet some new friends as well. So Clarita, it was wonderful meeting you. And I'm so glad you and Eric are getting to spend time together now. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty of it all, if you will. And before we get started, obviously I have to do I'm a podcaster and I'm a yarny person. And so I'm drinking my beverage. And of course I'm drinking not a hot tea because I'm a traitor to the whole knitting and crafting community. I'm drinking a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. Very good. My youngest child got his braces off today. And so as a celebration, he got to pick whatever beverage or snack he wanted to. And so we went to Starbucks, got a couple of breakfast sandwiches and some beverages as well. So I'm very excited for him and his growing up time. So the braces are off. So, but not only do I have that, because, I'm not basic. Well, I am basic, but I'm also overwhelming in my beverages. So I'm drinking myself a Topo Chico. They have some new flavors. This is blueberry with hibiscus extract, and it's sparkling water. I love sparkling water. And then, of course, I have my giant Mickey Mouse water. So this is my This is from the 100th anniversary of the Disney company. And so I'm a sucker for things that are Disney. And when I saw the sparkles, even though it's all just plastic, I had to have it. So we're going to enjoy some water too. So I'm highly beveraged and I'm ready to talk. Hopefully, lock in, you're ready to hang out with me for just a little while. So we'll start talking about the crafting. And spoiler alert, I've expanded my craftiverse. So I'm very excited to share with you some of the new things that I'm working on. I do have a couple of FOs, so things that I actually have finished, which, miracle of miracles, I might actually be becoming a faster crafter. Is that a word? A faster crafter? It starts to sound bad if you say it a lot. I'm a faster crafter. So I'm going to show you a couple of FOs. I'm going to show you some works in progress, which I got to the point where I didn't have any, so I needed to add some. And I'll show you my new crafting. So let's get started. So finished objects. Okay, so you have probably, last time we chatted, you saw probably about an inch of this final product that I'm going to show you, and it's kind of a finished object. So this is my little lace crop made by Knititude. So Chantal of Knititude made this, and I made it in Luma DK, and it's Sangria is the color. And I love it. If you could see, like, there's these really cool lace pattern at the bottom. It's got really nice wide shoulders. So it kind of, she was inspired by a workout top that kind of went in here and then went out to the shoulders. The only thing I haven't done, well, besides obviously it's kind of a FO, I still have to weave in the ends, but that'll be done by Flock because I'm going to wear this to Flock. I'm so excited. And if you look at the back here, there's supposed to be an I-cord tie that comes across the back, and I haven't done that. And I'm kind of at a yet moment. I'll probably get to it. And I do have one of the cordsmiths from All Inclusive. And so I'll probably use that and create some I-cord ties for the back of this. But otherwise, it's done. And it took me about less than a month. So I like tank tops because tank tops go fast. And as you know, I go slow. So if something goes fast, it's for me because then I can actually get through it. So that is my little lace crop by Knititude, and I'm very excited. She does really fantastic patterns. So if you haven't knit anything by Knititude yet, whether you're a beginner knitter or you're a really experienced knitter, her stuff is, I find it simple to make. It's not overly complicated, but it comes out with a very beautiful finish. And so, like, just some of the details that she does didn't take too much mind power, but it really made a really nice detail. I mean, those shoulders that go in and then they go out, it just feels like such a wonderful pattern and just a fun detail. Boy, do I have a lot of strings to weave in, but we'll get to that later. For me, I'm basically, it's blocked and is good enough. So I do have to get it finished just so I can wear it at some point, but I'm just happy to have it off needles. I'm very excited about that. And then I actually have something that I don't believe I've ever shown in one of my full sit down podcasts. And so these, I'm really, really proud of this work. Check that out. All right, so this is the Season Sock by Summer Lee. So if you're familiar with Summer Lee, she has her book called The Sock Project, and she always is coming up with some really cool cuffs and patterns for socks. And so this one right here, I really enjoyed the pattern. It's very simple repeats. It's a 4-row repeat, and it gives really nice texture. So it actually feels super squishy. And I use the Farmer's Daughter Fibers Sock Squad, and this is the subscription from June. So June came with the orange color you see right there, and it also came with the full body shape right there. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Twin Snakes maybe, but maybe that was March. I don't know. But this was the June colorway. And I have not finished. This is my second pair of socks that I finished from the subscription, which is miraculous. So this year I've actually finished 3 pairs of socks. And the year's not over yet. So I might even make some more. But I'm very proud of this. And so I used her optional cuff. So you can actually do it with or without the optional color work on the cuff. So I did that and I really, really enjoy it. I did do these on a size 2 needle because They're meant to be slouchy. They're kind of a squishy, slouchy sock. And so I made it a little bit tighter on the foot. So I went down. I started with 72 up top so that it would have some extra room up on top with a size 2 needle. And then I kept going, and then I moved to a size 1.5 needle for the foot. So it would be a little more snug on my foot. And I actually dropped down some stitches too. And then I do definitely need to start working on how to do the jogless stripes, because I know that's my next technique that I'm missing. So that'll be another pair of socks. But I actually really quite enjoyed this. I discovered that the heel flap and gusset is the jam for Becky's feet, because I do wear a size 11 women's shoe in US sizes. And I also have a wide foot on top of that. So all that combines with a high instep that I need a good size and a custom size sock. So I finally found heel flap and gusset starting with 72 stitches tends to be a really nice measure for me. So those are my FOs. Super excited. I'm actually glad that I have some FOs. And now we'll get to whips. And so once I finished the tank and then I finished the sock, I was like, oh no, I don't have any big projects on the needles. I need to get started. So I forgot about my Big Cozy Cardi. So I did a few rows on that. And if you've watched before, you know that Big Cozy Cardi is kind of just set it down and pick it up every once in a while, because it's going to take me a long time to finish. It's going to take me a year, maybe more. I don't know. My first sweater took me 2 years, but that's also because I set it down probably for a whole year in between. But we'll see. So we'll see how that goes. And so whips, let's see. And I have my tank top here just in case I need to take this off, but so far I'm vibing. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so I have not put any socks back on needle, so I need to find another sock pattern project to start. So that's kind of TBD. I do also have I haven't opened my July subscription for the Farmer's Daughter Fiber, so I might end up making something beautiful with whatever that is. I think I saw a little, like, somebody posted something and I think I saw what it might be, but I haven't gone back because I don't want to know for sure until I can open it and have my own personal reaction to things. I don't want to be influenced by everybody else, right? We want to be individuals, have our own reactions, our own ways of doing things. So I will be, I'm all set up and I'm dressed. So I might as well I'll probably do it after this. So for works in progress, I think it was last week, once I finished my tank or my crop, and then I also finished my sock, I went out to you all in the YouTubeverse and I asked you, what should I cast on next? Because I had 4 projects that I wanted to consider. So there was the ranunculus, the outline tee, there was the inclination shawl that I want to make the same one that Rachel from Table 10 made. I just love the colorways. And so I actually went to La Mercerie over on Bainbridge Island to get those 2 colorways that are exclusive for them from Spin Cycle. So I had that one. And then I had another t-shirt and can't remember what it was, but I'll put it up here. So obviously that's not one of the ones that I choose. So I'll show you the progress that I've made on this current whip. So, it's all twisty. There it is. Any ideas? I feel like it's going to be super huge. I mean, it's pretty loosey-goosey. And then there's my Golden Girls Stay Golden stitch markers. I love those. Those ladies just bring me joy every time I look at it. And so I'll show you, this is my beginning of round to see if you can see anything unique or interesting about it. So maybe you can get an idea of what I'm making. You see those little yarn overs right there? Yarn over, yarn over. So this is, drum roll please, the Outline Tee by Jessie May Design. That was one that you all voted for the most. The other one was the Easy V. The Easy V sweater actually got quite a few votes as well, but the Outline Tee got the most. My daughter has even said, oh, you could just make another one for me too. And I'm like, if this one's too big, we'll figure out who can wear it and then we'll make some other ones. But so I have to tell you stories about this. First time I've ever done a twisted rib And so that was a new technique for me. I always like to focus on what did I learn? Because, I'm a teacher. And so I like learning as well as teaching. And so far I learned how to do the twisted rib, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it has a really nice kind of a texture and a technique to it. You can see it kind of tightens up the ribbing right there. I'm really, really worried that this is going to be way too breezy, we'll say breezy. So I learned how to do twisted rib. I also learned I can't count, which we all know this. If you craft, you can't count. You lose the ability to count. I had to do a cast on for 320 stitches. And I had to do that 320 stitches cast on 3 times. So if we do the math, that's 960 stitches I had to cast on. And each time I had knit at least 4 or 5 rows. So the first one, what was wrong with the first one? There was a stitch that got dropped. And then when I had cast on so tight, I totally ignored Jessie Maid's instructions, cast on loosely. And I don't know, when I do a long tail cast on, I like tighten those things up and I tug and I tug. And so I over tugged. And so when I was trying to undo it to go back to fix it, I couldn't get into most stuff. I couldn't go backwards. And at one point I actually ended up snapping my yarn. So the first one was too tight, snapped the yarn, something bad happened, and it all fell apart. So I had to undo it. So I lost a little bit of yarn during that too, because I had to basically set that aside. And then I cast it on again. Super excited. This is all going to be awesome. I'm making my t-shirt. My sweater was twisted. I don't know how I do it. I'm so careful. Like, I keep everything lined up in the backs. I try to clamp it down as I'm casting on, as I'm putting it together. And I work in magic loop, but I probably didn't even need to do a magic loop for this, because this is all just basically, it fits my needles. I have a 37-inch cable in there, and then I have 2 5-inches, so I think that's 47 inches total. And I'm hoping my finished body is about 54, 55 inches. So it should be okay. So then so it was twisted. So I was knitting it, and instead of, because if you're not familiar with when you twist stitches, they're going up in a circle like this, but one side is like this. And so you basically have like an infinity on the sides. And I don't know that there's a way to fix that without ripping back and starting over. So I ripped back and I started over. I think I had about 5 stitches on at that point. So ripped back, started over, and prayed real hard that this time I did not have any drop stitches. I didn't have any broken stuff. It was just, please, please, please let this work out. And so I got a few rows in, and sure enough, it worked out. Everything I think is going in the right direction. And I feel like it's way too big. So I went down 1 size on this round. But then I've been really happy to be able to, I dropped a stitch. I can't do 2 things at once. Sitting here trying to talk to you, and then I'm also trying to knit, and that's going badly. So I know that Renee of Table 10 had recently finished her outline tee, and I liked the way hers fit. And so I reached out to her, and she was actually incredibly cool. She's really, really kind. And so she measured because I wanted to know how much ease she had in hers, because I felt like mine had way too much ease. And so I wanted to see if I could amend that and not have quite so much. So she got back to me, and so we were chatting a little bit about kind of the approach that she took and how hers worked out. And so hoping that mine works out. I am doing it in Knitting for Olive in the cotton merino. I've never worked with Knitting for Olive before, so another learning opportunity for me. I picked the cotton merino just because I thought that would be kind of a nice transitional fabric that I could wear. I mean, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so if you know anything about up here, people say it rains all the time. It doesn't rain all the time. It's just gray all the time. And so right now we're in our glorious summer. And if you have never seen summer in Seattle, make a trek. You need to get up here. It is so beautiful. Even though I'm an indoorsy person, I love even just sitting on my couch, looking out the windows and seeing the beautiful blue sky, the beautiful trees. And that just kind of inspires me and gives me a little motivation to maybe knit a little more. And so I actually am going to try and sit and knit some of this because I have a lot of inches to go before I'm able to start dividing to do sleeves and the V-neck in the front. So I was talking about wearing this to flock, and I was really excited. And my daughter's coming with me to flock, so I'm very excited. I've converted her, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But so I was saying, oh yeah, I want to wear this to flock, and I'll wear my tank top to flock. And then we were talking about stuff that's going on. And since you can't get an ID appointment at the DMV because of all the real ID stuff, and she needs a new ID because in Washington, until you're 21, your ID is actually vertical. And so she wants the horizontal kind because she actually went somewhere and they refused her service because she had a vertical ID, even though it said she was 21. So she and her friends are going to go get those this week. And we were talking about the dates and stuff. And then when she mentioned that Friday is the 25th, I stopped in my tracks and I said, wait a second. That means next Friday is August. And she's like, yeah, that's why I was wondering why you thought you were going to be wearing that to flock. Because again, I have that much of it done and I need to make a t-shirt. So I'm going to be knitting my heart out and trying to get this thing done. So this is the one thing that's on my needles right now. And so I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on this, trying to get this finished. And again, I have to show these off. I love these. They are little tiny kitty cat stitch markers, which I think I've shown before. They're so cute. They're just little tiny cats. And we have cats around here. We have dogs, we have cats, we have all kinds of stuff. Really hard to show that. But those little ears, see the little ears? So cute. We have 2 cats, 2 dogs. So we are the pet house. And so I had to use my little kitty cat stitch markers that I got from the grocery girls. So let's see. So I'm finishing working on this. There's a dream that I can wear it to flock, but since flock is in 2.5 weeks, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time to get this thing done. I have never made a fingering weight t-shirt. I have never wanted to make a fingering weight t-shirt. Let me amend that. I love the look of fingering weight sweaters, t-shirts. I love the drape of them. And being that I'm always warm, I'm in that menopausal phase of life when I get hot just because, ooh, I looked outside, sun's out, I'm hot. I fell asleep and I woke up, ooh, I'm hot. And so I don't want anything that's too hot. So that's why I decided fingering weight is a good idea for me, even though I dread the idea of knitting it. So we'll see. I think I'm about 2.5 inches into this sweater or into this t-shirt, and thankfully it's a short sleeve t-shirt. And it's going to have extra ventilation because the outline tee has those little drops down the front, and I'll put a little picture up there so you can see what what Jessie Made Designs, hers will look like. So we'll see. I'll just knit and knit and knit and knit and keep knitting until my fingers fall off. But like I said, I do need to put something like a sock pattern on the needles because normally I like to have a sock pattern to take with me. And this t-shirt's been great to take with me because I just got it set up in the round so that now I can just do stockinette. I'm just knitting in a circle, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite kind of knitting. I'm going to a movie on Monday night with my husband and some friends, and so I'll be knitting during the movie because this is one of the things I can actually do in the dark for knitting. So I'm going to do that. But there's something else that I'm working on as well. So as I mentioned earlier, I am multi-craftual. You like that? Multi-craftual. So not only do I knit, but now I also, wait for it, I crochet. Kind of. So I have a friend. She's in my knitting group and my fiber arts group. I should be more specific now since I am also a crocheter. She's in my fiber arts group and she has designed a t-shirt. And so she's looking for testers. And so I was like, well, gosh, I'd love to, but I am not at a crochet garment level. And she actually said that she wanted people who were newer crocheters to test it out and see how the pattern worked. And so I told her I would be perfectly willing to try it. And because I can finish a t-shirt in 6 weeks, right? Crochet is faster. Crochet is actually, I love the rhythm of it so much more than I love knitting, but I like the fabric of knitting way better than I like the fabric of crochet. So I'm going to be working on a t-shirt pattern, and this is just my attempt at learning how to do some of the stitches because I literally did not even know where to start. So I went to the University of YouTube, watched a lot of crochet videos, and learned how to do, I think the first part is a double foundational crochet or foundational double crochet. Learned how to do that. There's some double crochet throughout, how to turn corners and things like that, slip stitches. So it's entirely possible next time I might have a lot of a t-shirt ready for you to see in a crochet pattern. So this was just my sample. So I've been doing this on like not a huge hook, but a big hook. So this was an H or an 8, a 5mm hook. And I'm that kid who leaves the tags on everything just because I can't be bothered to take it off. I'm sure that would make my life easier, but I'm not going to use this for the project because it needs a much smaller hook, which means it's going to take me a much longer time. But I'm up for the challenge. I'm ready to learn new things, try new things, and see where we go. I'm not sure I'm going to prefer crochet over knitting because it uses a lot more yarn, and I have become kind of a yarn snob without even trying to, but just the places I was hanging out and the people I was listening to and watching, they use really nice yarns, and I don't really want to use not nice yarns, and things that are synthetic and manufactured, they don't have the breathability that something would have if it has more natural fibers. So I'm more of a natural fiber girl. Plus, I like things to be able to be compostable, recycled, that kind of stuff. And so, like cotton and merino are both fabrics that can be composted because it's basically from wool and from cotton plants. So next time, hopefully, you will have an update on my beautiful t-shirt test. My outline tee will hopefully be something that is maybe wearable for flock, maybe not. But I'm very excited. So it's been a really nice time. Once school got out, I literally have been spending hours every day knitting, sitting on my couch knitting, trying to crochet something. I've been listening to some audiobooks, and so I'll get into that in a little bit, and just filling myself with the things that I enjoy, doing the things that I love, because I love knitting. I love crafting. I love reading. I love watching TV. I love watching podcasts. So I am like caught up. Do you ever get to the point where you're like, I reached the end of YouTube? I think I'm done. There's nothing left to watch. And so I'm going all my subscriptions, and I've watched everything. I think the Grocery Girls, I still have, since they have 9 years worth of episodes, and I started watching last year. So I will have probably some years of that still ahead of me. So I've been trying to go back and watch some of those when I run out of things to watch. But with the state of politics today, the only way I can watch the news is by watching Comedy Central versions of it and things like that, the Stephen Colbert Show and the Daily Show. And so those are kind of my news organizations, and trying not to get fed up and fired up and scared with the way things are going in the US right now. All right, so we're going to get back to funner things. You like that? Funner. Once you have a degree in English, which I do, you can actually mess with the language all you like, and you just say, I'm an expert now. I know how to manipulate the words. So we're getting on to funner topics. And let's see. So I've been mentioning Flock Fiber Fest quite a bit. So I am attending Flock Fiber Fest for the second time. And it is in Seattle at August 8th through the 10th. So last year I went, and I was in knitting, and I was a bit in the knitting community, but I hadn't really been into like the companies that were making spinning dyeing yarns and things like that. So I didn't quite know what I was doing, what I was looking for last year. I went with a friend of mine, Lori, and she and I mean, we did flock in like 4 hours. So we got there, we took the bus, and because that's the easiest way to get there. So if you're coming from the east side of Seattle, take the bus. It drops you off right down the hill from the the convention center, the New Summit Convention Center, and you can get in there, and it's a really quick and easy walk. So we took the bus, it took us about 4 hours. We walked through most of the vendors, and of course I did some damage because that's what I do. And have I used any of the stuff? I've swatched one of the things I got last year, and I have some other really fun things that I'm excited about. I actually might make a pair of socks with one of the skeins that I got last year. I got the Go-Go's Beauty and the Beat album that was done by Fiber Hustle. They have some really cool stuff that they listen to the albums, and then they dye the yarn as they're listening to the album, kind of in the spirit of the album cover. So Beauty and the Beat, just gorgeous. I'll put a picture up here. I think I have it, of the yarn with the album cover in the back. And I bought some full skeins for making a sweater. So I have the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. I bought some yarn for that. So that's ready. That's been swatched for. So this year I'm trying to go in with very, very mindfully and try to figure out exactly what I want to do. So I know I want to get at least a sweater's quantity of something. So I have to figure out which sweater I'd like to do. There's been, the Miserina, the Alpine Bloom, the whole Bloom series by Caitlin Hunter. I have the Easy V stuff, so I don't need anything for that. And then I just ordered from Junie and Sai. She's having a sale, and so I ordered her pastels it's a fingering weight pastel mint green yarn and a mint green Surrey alpaca. And so that's going to be, it's one of the other loops. It's like the soft loops sweater or something. It's kind of a long sleeve fuzzy with ridges sweater. So I got that. So that has to happen. So now I'm wondering what else I want to do. I love Andrea Mowry's patterns, but I'm not typically into the Rhinebeck sweater or the knit along. So I'm probably not going to jump on the ooey gooey train, even though it's really cute. And I love some of the color combinations that they've been doing with Spin Cycle. So I know the Robinia sweater is one that I discovered last year that I think I might like to make. And then a bunch of the other loop stuff is still there and still in my mind. What do you want to be working on for the fall? Kind of what's your fall plan that you need to bulk up for, that you need to get some yarn, get ready to put some stuff on your needles for when the cooler weather finally comes. Ours will come around October. Early October is when it kind of cools down quite a bit here. It's glorious through September most of the time. So I probably won't be wearing anything warm until after October. But what would you put on your needles? What should I put on my needles? I think after the tea, probably the Easy V is going to happen. And then after that, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen after that? I do tend to plan. My eyes are bigger than my knitting stomach, if that makes any sense. I see all the things. I want to make all the things. I buy all the yarns for all the things. But I only have two hands, and we all know how long it takes me to make anything. Like this sleeveless cropped tank took me almost a month. So I don't know how long a sweater would take me. But I have a dream. I always have a dream, and my eyes are bigger than my stomach. So I'm going to have big goals. So tell me what you're going to be knitting in the fall. What are you coming up with? And I also would love, for those of you who are kind of flock experts, who've been to flock a few times, know a lot about the vendors and things like that, I would love to know what are some special things that I need to look for while I'm there. I'll probably do another flock episode just talking about like how to prepare, what to do, what to bring, because I know there's a lot that you need to be, if you're serious about it and you want to really get in there and do the job, you got to be prepared. But what do I need to be prepared for? I'm especially looking for like exclusives. So if you know of anybody who's going to have exclusive colorways, exclusive stitch markers, I'm always looking for really cool notions and anything that's flock exclusive. I've already got the tee. No, I didn't get the tee. I got the tank top. Geez Louise. I got the tote bag. Pardon me for not being able to find a word. And I got the tote bag and I got a project bag. So I've already pre-ordered my stuff and it arrived already. And so I will have that ready to go. But I want to know what other exclusive colorways there'll be, because I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is I want to find out what can I not get outside the show. And if I'm going to be there, I want to look at those things and look for those things. So hit me up. Tell me what you think would be a great thing for me to keep my eyes open, or what do I need to rush for the very beginning of the day? Because I know there's a lot of people that literally will run in there to get what they want. And I know a lot of times they actually go to the table with all the flock merch, but I took care of that ahead of time. So I so appreciate Jess, who is the organizer. She owns La Mercerie, and I appreciate her putting things up ahead of time so that I didn't have to fight with anybody to get the cool things that I wanted. So also, if you're going to be at Flock, I would love to meet with you. I would love just to hang out. So I know there's a lot of places to knit. And so I'm thinking like around 3:00 probably on Saturday afternoon, I might just cop a squat in one of the tables. And if you're around and you see me, even if I'm walking around and you see me, just say hi, come over, say hi. I would love to actually meet people in person because I've already started making friendships with people on Instagram and through YouTube. And I would love to put faces to names. So if you see me, pop in, say hi. I would love that. And don't worry about interrupting me. I am one of those people that I'm totally open. I'm an open book. I love to talk to people, and I can't be embarrassed. I can't be interrupted, and I just go with the flow. So if you say hi, don't be afraid. Please come say hi. You've been told. Say hi if you see me, okay? Because I want to say hi to you. All right. So that's Flock. That's coming. I'm very excited about that. And so, pardon me while I'm looking. I'm just checking my notes of what I wanted to talk about today. So on, some podcasters have opinions. I'm one of those podcasters. I have opinions, and I'm typically not afraid to share them. Although I don't ever want anybody to feel badly. I don't ever want anybody to feel like their opinion is not great because my opinion's different. There is no way that's true. I simply have my own hot takes, and there's things that I love and there's things that I don't love. Like I mentioned, I love Andrea Mowry's patterns, but I don't typically jump on the Rhinebeck knit along because I'm not going to Rhinebeck. And that shape of a sweater is not for me. I don't really care for a fitted sweater. And it also looks like it would just boil me. Like I would pass out on the hill while taking my picture with all of the people in Rhinebeck with their ooey sweaters on at the top of the hill. And I'd be the one that drops to the floor because I would be so dang hot. So I've noticed a lot of vest patterns coming out lately. So lots of sleeveless vests, button-up vests, ties in the front vests that kind of have a little more open gaping, which is really cute. Pullover vests. I hate vests. I see them on people and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. But there's no way in the world I would actually consider making one, wearing one. Blech. So I'm saying that right now. And I'm also the person who says never say never. Someday I might like a vest, but I can't see it happening. So like everybody who does these roundups, all these summer roundups especially, have so many vests. Like I'm not even going to name the patterns because I don't want to put any shade on anybody's work. But every podcast I'm watching, they're like, oh, vest, so cute, I love it. Oh, vest, so cute, I love it. Ooh, vests with buttons, vests with bows, vests with ribbons. I want none of it. So there's my hot take for today. I don't like vests. I don't think they're flattering. And I think a lot of it is because I was a young adult in the 90s. And in the 90s, there was a lot of vests. So it was vests like suits with a vest, or you could wear like a long pant with a matching vest that had like, it was kind of a drape. I remember I had an outfit that was kind of a really pretty blue, dusty blue. And it had kind of a cropped drapey pant. And it felt really, I can guarantee it was polyester because I was not spending a lot of money on my clothes back then. So it had like kind of a cropped wide leg pant, but then it also had like this sleek button up vest, and it was a long button up, and it had those little shell buttons up and down the front, sleeveless V-neck, very basic, long tunic. I had too many of those. I think I burned myself out. And now I don't like them anymore. So that's a me problem, not a you problem. And if you wear vests, rock that vest. Feel confident, go out knowing you look amazing. Because honest to goodness, as long as you feel like you look amazing, you look amazing. It doesn't matter at all what anybody else thinks. When you feel good, you look good. And other people will see that. So rock whatever you're wearing, whatever you like. I have some opinions and things that I don't like to wear. But I see everybody else wearing them around me, and that's like good on them. It's just not for me. So all of you who are doing your roundups for the new patterns and things like that. I love it. Keep doing it. It brings me so much joy. It brings me so many ideas. I have gotten most of the patterns that I want to knit from podcasters out there. So keep sharing, bringing the joy of the things that you love. And I know there'll be a nugget for me inside of those patterns that you like to do. And some of you knit the same things I like to knit. And so, yeah, table 10, Rachel, Renee, looking at you. I think we're like the same brain when it comes to knitting. Because everything that you guys are making is stuff that I've either had on my list or things that I wanted to make. So we can be besties someday. We just have to meet. All right. And anybody else out there who you love knitting what I love knitting, we could be besties too. Me and you. Let's be besties. Put a comment below. Are we besties now? I know there's a few of you out there who are just like me. You're like, yep, ADHD brain. I'm middle-aged, as they like to say, and some of us with late diagnosed ADHD, and we can't get anything finished. We can't focus on stuff, but we enjoy crafting and creating, and I think it helps us be a little more creative, that our brains do work differently. So we're neurospicy, and I think it's good for all of us. Let's see. So here's my exciting news. Well, it's not exciting for you, but it's exciting for me. So my daughter Zoe, she's 21 and she's going to college right now. So she's home sometimes, but not all the time. And when she was home a couple of weeks ago, she was like watching me knit, and somehow we got into the conversation. I'm like, I'll teach you if you want, because I feel like I've been telling my kids, I'll teach you, I'll teach you, I'll teach you. And no one ever takes me up on it. And so finally she took me up on it. I'm so excited. Now show me what you did.
I did it.
I'm so impressed.
Thanks.
No holes.
No holes.
Nice job.
Thanks. Dad.
Look at you go.
I know.
And so I love to say it. She's better than I am. Like, she picked it up so quickly. She was able to finish. She made it like a dishcloth with a really cute fish on it. I'll put pictures of the work that she was doing up there. And she finished it in a week, and she was able to start fixing mistakes, noticing mistakes. Those are things that I never did. I could never do that. And it took me 20 years to figure out how to knit properly, how to fix things. And she read the pattern. She learns the knit and the purls, and she likes to joke that she almost has a degree, so she knows everything. She's already good. She knows everything. And literally, she knows how to knit and purl. So I'm like, you can bind off, you can cast on, you can knit and purl, you know everything. So she knows everything. She's finished her fish cloth, and now she's working on a whale cloth. And so as you can see, she has a very aquatic love in her life. And so I'm super excited. So as a result, she started asking if she can go with me to flock. So yes, of course you can go with me to flock. I even paid for it. That's the part that really blows everybody's mind, because I don't pay for much. But I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I'll pay to take you to flock with me. So she'll be with me. So she's probably not as excited about meeting a bunch of strangers as I am, but she'll be with me. And so I'm really excited to share that with her and to see what she does. She's already talking about wanting to make her first sweater. And it took me 22 years to cast on a sweater. And she's ready to do it after 6 weeks. So I'm super excited. And hopefully you see her and you'll find her on Ravelry and you'll be, wow, I can see what your mom's talking about. You're really good, because she's really good. All right. So that's really cool. So she is, instead of a good enough girl, we're going to be good enough girls. There's 2 of us now. So I'm very excited about that. And let's see. Oh, Tour de Fleece. I forgot that it's Tour de Fleece. So I do spin a little. I started spinning a year and a half ago on a wheel. So I started my spinning journey a year and a half ago on a wheel, and I started almost 2 years ago spinning on a drop spindle. And so I have made some different fibers and things like that. I'm not super tidying a clean spinner yet, and I'm trying some new things. So I'm actually going to step away and I'm going to go get my spins that I've done so I can kind of share what you've done. I did start Tour de Fleece. So Tour de Fleece started at close to the beginning of July. And I spun for about 3 days. I finished one braid of just basic undyed merino. So I finished that. And I was learning how to, I think I talked about in the last one that I was learning how to do long draw spinning, which I realize is not for me, simply because I don't want the yarn that it makes. I do not want a long draw yarn. And so that is something that I probably won't do again. So I started long draw on this one, and then I continued to do it, but I decided not to long draw it. I just did regular short draw, short forward draw or something like that, I think it's called. And then I decided to practice and learn chain plying. So I tried chain plying on that. A lot of hot mess happening there. So, but I'll show it to you. So just one second. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I went to grab a lot of my spinning projects that I had done. And so I won't show you the first things I ever spun. My friend Jessie let me use her wheel when we were on a little retreat. And I didn't do great, but it was a good way to kind of figure out where I'm going, how I'm getting to be better, what I'm learning how to do, and where I started. So we won't show you where I'm starting, but I'm going to show you this merino that I just finished chain plying. It is a hot mess. Look at that. So you can see, like, it's thick and thin. Like, some of it's really, really good. This stuff right here is really nice. And then some of it got really, really thick and thin, especially this stuff right here that I chain plied was what I started with. So this is where I started spinning originally to spin my singles. And then I chain plied it on itself. So basically, I mean, look at that. just ridiculous. So I'm gonna get that wound up into a hank, and then I'm gonna clean it, give it a bath, and do all the things. But that was what I did the first few weeks of Tour de Fleece. So I was really excited. I actually had something. But let me show you some of the things that I did when I actually kind of had an idea of what I was doing. So the first thing my first real spin that I grabbed was this right here. So this is from Wine and Woolly Design. It's a merino bamboo tussa, which I think is a silk, but I honestly have no idea. I got this from Heart to Heart Knitting and Fiber Arts. I bought it over a Black Friday weekend, right after I learned how to spin. And once I got my wheel, I was really excited to start spinning on it. So it's just beautiful colors. And so I'll show you what it looks like on a spindle. So this is it on the bobbin that I did. So it turns out, I mean, really beautiful. And actually, it's not bad. Like, the spin itself is not that bad. I'm kind of impressed with my own self. That's great. All right, so that's one. And I have another one back there that I want to do. I'm doing a 3-ply on this. And so I have one more bobbin to spin up of single plies. And then I'll actually show you what the yarn it made. So I did make some, I'm so prolific on the yarn. So these right here, these are the cute little yarns that they made. And I think each of these is, let's see, this one's 80 yards. And this one is 91 yards. So I've got 170 yards right now, which is not bad. And then I'm going to do another one. And so hopefully that'll be at least another, probably 100 yards, because I have this whole thing to finish up. And I don't know how many ounces even that is. But yeah, so that was kind of my first actual spin that finished a yarn that I would be interested in using. So I'm very excited about that. I showed you my merino, and then I did some random stuff at the class. And so they gave us random bits of fiber for the class. This is actually pretty good. I don't know if that's long. I don't think that's long draw, but I think it was supposed to be long draw. So yeah, not too bad. And underneath here, I'm not going to unwind it, but there's a whole bunch of different colors under there, because these are all the different fibers that they gave us for the class. And so I was just spinning them all up into the same place. And then I'm not sure if I've shown this yet. So I was talking early on about when I started spinning, one of the things I wanted to learn how to do was spin with dog fur. And so I had mentioned that, I think, like on my first podcast or something. And so I wanted to show you what Luna looks like. So this is actually Luna, my dog. She's a She's a Pomsky, which is Pomeranian Husky. And so she's black and white. And this is her. And she is spun up with, I think, I'm not sure what kind of wool, but like a merino wool or some other kind of wool. And it's actually beautiful. And you can see there's a lot of the dog halo. Like you can see maybe the guard hairs and things like that. So some of those will just come out with time. But it feels not too bad. It'll be a pretty rustic wool, I think. Maybe something warm, and maybe she'll get to wear herself. So this is Luna. When you're a black and white dog, this is what you look like when you're on a spinning wheel. And so luckily she's over there sleeping on the couch with her belly exposed, just in case anybody needs to rub it. Because once you rub her belly, she's yours forever. Literally. She will just fall in love, fall in line, have her belly rubbed. And it looks like she is the happiest being of all time when you do that. So if you ever need a best friend dog, call me, because she will be your best friend dog. All right, so that's Tour de Fleece. I don't even know if it's over or not yet by the time this comes out. It tends to take me, from the time I record, it takes, I'm going to say 2 weeks before I put it up, just because like the big job is the videoing. And so then I forget that I have to continue doing some work and some steps to get it up onto YouTube. So I apologize for the delays, but I don't need to apologize because, we're all just here. We get it when we get it, and we do it when we can do it. So that's I'll be working some more on Tour de Fleece. I'm going to be learning how to crochet a t-shirt, and hopefully, wouldn't it be crazy if I actually finish this outline tee for Flock? If you see me in this, please make sure to come up and say, good job, you did it, because I did it. But even now, I'm impressed with myself. It took me a day and a half for the first cast on, so I can understand how long this thing has taken me since I cast on 3 times. And I did the German twisted cast on, so basically your fingers are going like this. And I realized for every stitch that I had to cast on, there was 6 different twists in my fingers, because it's like you have it held between here, and then you have to go in here, over there, in here, over there, in here. And it was 6 twists per. So then I was like, okay, 6 times 320 is 1,920 twists of my wrists each time to cast on. I did it 3 times. So if you look at that, that's over 5,500 flicks of the wrist just for my cast-ons. So hopefully you will use this as a time to empathize with me and understand my pain, because I understand your pain. And it's always, I hate that other people make mistakes, but it really makes me feel better when I see other people making mistakes that I've made, because then I don't feel like it's just me. I feel like other people are doing the same thing I'm doing. We're just trying to get something finished. We're just trying to have a nice time with it. I'm just trying to keep it relaxing, because they keep telling me knitting is so relaxing. And it is. Once I've got my project going and I'm only knitting in stockinette, it's very relaxing. But until then, I'm tense. Like when I'm casting on, I'm like this. My hands are moving and my neck is down. Oh, it's not good. So yeah, but I'm at the relaxing point. So very excited about that. So that's pretty much all my knitting content for now. I don't have any acquisitions or anything to share right now, because I am waiting for that. There's actually an order that's supposed to be delivered today. I ordered from Junie and Sai yesterday through their website, and it was packed and shipped yesterday and supposed to arrive today. So overnight, basically shipping for regular shipping price. They are in Washington, and so it doesn't take as long to get here, but super impressed with the speed and turnaround that they had to actually get that yarn in a package and out. So shout out to Junie and Sai. I'm really excited to get my first batch of yarn from you guys, and hopefully I'll get to share that on the next podcast. So if you're just here for the multi-craftualism of it all, that's going to be wrapping up those projects for right now, and I'll have more for you next time. And next time, plan that we will be talking about getting ready for Flock. And so for those of you who are getting ready to go to Flock, or who are even preparing for any of these wonderful yarn festivals we have around our great nation and around the whole Northern America. And because I know Canada, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff up there. I'm actually going to be heading to Knit City, Vancouver in September, so I'm very excited about that. And around the world, hopefully someday I'll get to go East Coast yarn events, and then also hit some stuff over in Europe, because as I mentioned before, traveling is my biggest joy. So I would love to knit and travel in some other places. All right, so if you're only here for the knit and the craft, I'm going to be done with that, but I'm just going to do some quick talking about some shows and some books that I've been reading. So I finished Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I've read quite a few of her books, and I really enjoy all of them. And there's a character that keeps showing up in a bunch of the books. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but that character shows up in this book as well. And I was surprised when I read it because I really didn't know what to expect. My daughter had read it and she had said it was really good, and so she actually had left. She collects books, and so she had a copy of it and she left it for me. And I just realized that I would rather my hands be knitting, and so I really love audiobooks, and plus it's like having a bedtime story told to you. Apparently I'm running out of camera space, so I'm going to talk quick now. So Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I was actually really impressed and surprised at the way the novel went and the story that was told, and I loved the just the diversity in that character. Okay, here we go. Quick as a flash. So loved Evelyn Hugo. I thought it was kind of I loved the way that they showed so many sides of the character. It had a really great character development, and obviously really good kind of weaving in of the stories. I also just started reading Behind Closed Doors, which is a book by B.A. Paris that my friend Ken turned me on to. And so I have this love affair with Freida McFadden, right, in all of her books. So this one is kind of in that same vein, and I'm about 3/4 of the way done with it, and it's juicy and I love it. Very disturbing though. It has to do with domestic abuse and things like that. So if that is a trigger for you, she's probably not the one to read. And then we just started watching a new show called Stick on Apple TV, and we love it. It's Owen Wilson as kind of a washed up golf pro, and his journey to redemption and how he's kind of giving back to someone younger than him. And so it kind of shows him on his way back. So we've really been enjoying that, my husband and I. And my guilty pleasure every summer is Bachelor in Paradise. So I don't like the Bachelor series. I no longer watch it. Haven't watched it in probably 10 years. I don't even know. But Bachelor in Paradise, I love it every summer. It feels less scripted than the other shows do. And this year they brought the Golden Bachelor candidates and stuff on. So that's been really fun to see kind of the wisdom of the adults interacting with the lack of wisdom of the younger people, and being in the closer to the golden category. It's refreshing and to see, but it's also, I love being able to just diss on the Goldens, letting them know, like, this is not the way you should be behaving. You should know better than this. You are not a 25-year-old boy. Knock it off. So that's been fun with me. My daughter watched one episode with me, and we used to watch it all the time together. And she was just like, it's just so disturbing. It's so hard to watch. And we both agree that it makes us uncomfortable, and that's what we like the most about it. So that's what I've been watching. What have you guys been up to this summer? Do you watch any summer series, any summer game shows? Do you skip media altogether and just spend your time outside? What do you do to fill your summer days and to enjoy the different type of season that we have? So that's all I've got for right now. So thank you to those who stuck around this long. And as you know, we will be best friends someday. We just have to meet in person. So for you sticking around on the video, I so appreciate your time. And for everybody else out there who is just visiting for the first time, I hope you'll come back and spend some time hanging out with us again. Take care. Till next time.